Welcome back to the 2023 Ontario Sportsman Series season. We are here at Laird. This is actually a replacement for the full throttle race, but here is your entry list. Let me just make sure that we actually have the right one. I don't believe we do. Yeah, we're going to make sure that we have the right entry list. So we're going to make sure that we have the right people. Caden Patrick is not going to be at this race. Tim Tolton, Connor James is not going to be at this race. Neither is Garrett Temersma. We're not going to have Amanda Balson, Ryan Lapsevich, Ryan Dyson, Rob Windus, Brandon Feeney, Lane Zardo, the McCulloughs, Billy Zardo, Doug Cathcart, Jake Sheridan. We should have that. Nagy, Chenoweth, Connor Ellis, McAllister, Wally Wilson, Brendan McFerrin, Sean Mangin. There's also going to be some names, I think, that... Because Connor Ellis is off this race. Colton Everingham is in. So 18 drivers are going to come to this race. Had to readjust the situation because I totally made a mistake here that you have to actually run a different race. Let me just see if I can do it this way. Yeah, it'll be 105 laps. You can set it up for championship season, but the problem is that you can't switch the entry lists. So it's going to have the same one that you had previously. So Todd Shepard, Tim Tolton, Kevin Lay, Brendan Patrick, Mark Patrick, Michael Herniak Jr., Chris Shera, Chad McGlynn, Kevin Trevlin, Ryan Dyson, Laura Altier, Brad Robinson, Billy Zardo, Sean Mangin, Jake Sheridan, Brandon McFerrin, Wally Wilson, Corey McAllister, and Carson Nagy. 19 drivers will take to this track today. Let's skip through that qualifying. And we'll start you at the back of the field. So at the back, Chris Shera will start in 19th place. Let's just get you the rear chase view so you can take a look at the cars. Laura Otier in the number 39 will start in the 18th place. 17th will be Brendan Patrick. 16th, Wally Wilson. And 15th, Kevin Lay. 14th for Tim Tolton. And 13th for Carson Nagy. 12th for Sean Mangin. And 11th for Mark Patrick. 10th for Brad Robinson. Billy Zardo will start in 9th. 8th will be Ryan Dyson. 7th for Brandon McFerrin. 52 of Jake Sheridan. Michael Herniak Jr. in the 15. Kevin Trevlin. Todd Shepard. On the front row, Chad McGlynn and Corey McAllister. Got 105 laps up on the board here. Technically, these are normally 100-lap races, but rather than having a mix-up with who was supposed to be on the entry list and having to do it on the fly, we're just going to go and get this one ready. We're going to just advance. Green flag in the air. We are underway. Chad McGlynn in the lead into turn number 1 and 2. Into 3 and 4. Todd Shepard will pull into second place. McAllister will fall back to third. Herniak Jr. And now here comes McAllister back to the inside of the number 2 of Todd Shepard. And he'll retake second place. Chad McGlynn out in front. Chad has won at Full Throttle Speedway. Won last season, actually, at Full Throttle. And won the pole position. So a pretty dominant race for him. McAllister second. Herniak third. Brandon McFerrin now to the inside of Todd Shepard. That is the battle for fourth. And the 56 will take it. McAllister will have his very first OSS full season, hopefully this year. Ran our first race last year at Flamborough and finished fourth. Here comes Shepard now looking back to the inside on the 56. He's got the 18 car right out in front, Chad McGlynn. Chris Scherer, Laura Otier at the back. Ooh, a little contact there. Otier. To the inside goes Scherer. Brendan Patrick, and there we go. Oh, 3 wide battle. Brad Robinson. Ryan Dyson to the high side. Wally Wilson to the inside. 3 wide battle continuing back into turn 1. Dyson still staying on the high side. Dyson's not going to run the full season here in this fictional season. Same with Wally Wilson. Robinson in the 44, however, will. The Twisted T44. A different look for him at this race. Tim Tolton in that number 3 is dominant at Full Throttle. This is, of course, a different racetrack. This is Laird. Just still in existence, actually. We got the battles there to the inside. It's Sean Mangin. Kevin Lay on that outside. Jake Sheridan, our first race winner in second place of the first race at Delaware Speedway, is Billy Zardo. Kevin Trevelyan, who was up in the top 5. A great finish for him. 2022 champion. He's cleared Jake Sheridan. He's got Carson Nagy out in front. Mark Patrick. There's Brandon McFerrin. Todd Shepard also cleared. Michael Herniak Jr. We go back to Corey McAllister, and Chad McGlynn is now in lap traffic. Chad, of course, sits currently. I believe he's third on the active win list in the Ontario Sportsman Series behind Steve Robley and his brother, Sean McGlynn, as Corey McAllister will go to the lead off of turn 4. Contact with Chris Scherer. Here goes the 15 of Michael Herniak Jr. into second place as Scherer gets in the way of the 18 car. McGlynn will stick to the high side. That might not be the right move as Corey McAllister is out in front. 15 sits in second place. Third for Chad McGlynn. Fourth place, of course, battle now. They've got some lap traffic there still with the 17 involved. 3 wide battle just in front. This is Wally Wilson and Ryan Dyson out in front of them. Is that 3 wide battle with Kevin Lay and the 44 of Brad Robinson. Tim Tolton just ahead of them. The Black Magic number 3. Billy Zardo finished second in our race at Delaware Speedway. Not having the best run right now. He's middle of the pack. Chris Scherer holding up Mark Patrick. There's Sean Mangin now to the inside. Mangin had a pretty good finish after struggling most of the race. Laura Otier in the 39 for Trevco Motorsports up at the top there. Scherer. Mark Patrick now looking back down to the inside. 39 ahead of the 17 right now. Trevco 39 and the 17 of Scherer laps down. They're going to be coming up on Wally Wilson shortly. The 02 there, Brendan Patrick. He's also a lap down. See, there's Chad McGlynn. Corey McAllister out in front over Michael Herniak Jr. Like I said, they're going to be coming up on the lap car. It's actually going to be Brad Robinson that they're going to approach first. Robinson, he didn't have the best of runs at Full Throttle. We did talk to Brad, and he absolutely loves Full Throttle. Loves the racetrack, but just didn't have a great run last year. Finished 4th in the first race, but the second race, I think they had some trouble there. But Brad Robinson looking to the inside of Wally Wilson, that 17 of Chris Scherer, the number 5 of Kevin Lay just out in front, 39 of Laura Otier. Or Othier, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. I hope I am. Wilson stuck on that high side. It's going to put Wilson 3 wide. McAllister's going to hold on. But stuck in that lap traffic is going to allow Michael Herniak Jr. and Chad McGlynn to reel in the leaders. But McGlynn's now looking to the inside of the 15, while the 71 is going to go 3 wide under the 17 and the 44. And look to put a lap now on Wally Wilson in that 69. McGlynn now into second place. Herniak now falls back to third. Side by side between the 39 and the 69. 18 now cleared the 44. He's going to go inside of the 39 heading into turn number 1. McAllister clear but did not get away. And that has allowed McGlynn to close in. 44 blocking, trying to get by the 39 there. And here comes Brandon McFerrin in that 56. He's now looking to that inside, trying to get by the 44, put him a lap down, of course. In his books, he's already a lap down to the leader. And he'll go by Brad Robinson, that 56 of Brandon McFerrin. Riding on board the 56. As a battle for the lead. Chad McGlynn now to the inside of Corey McAllister, and he will get the lead back. McAllister's going to fight back on the high side, but here comes the 15. So McAllister has led a couple of laps here tonight. That will help him with the points. You get bonus points in the Ontario Sportsman Series if you lead a lap. Leading the most laps, you'll get a couple extra bonus points. McGlynn out in front. Jake Sheridan got the most points at Delaware Speedway for leading the most laps. Oh, Herniak Jr. to the inside of the 18. 18 chopped down. As McFerrin now goes to the inside of McAllister. That's the battle as Herniak Jr. takes the lead. 18 goes high. That's going to allow McFerrin to come on by, and that's going to be a battle for second place. Herniak Jr. now in the lead. Kevin Lay put a lap down. McFerrin into second. Here comes McAllister. McAllister looking for third. Contact between Brendan Patrick and the 18. Spun the 18 sideways. It looks like he did get into the side of the 71. As McFerrin now goes high, here comes the 71 back underneath. McFerrin back to third. Here comes McGlynn. McGlynn on that high side of the 44 of Robinson. He's going to stick it real high. That's not going to work out. McFerrin going to continue to the inside of Kevin Lay here into 3. Makes the move. Not able to make the move off of 4, but will get the run into turn number 1. Looking at McAllister and the 15 now stuck behind a lap car. It's going to help to reel in these other two. Wally Wilson still being able to hold off these leaders. That's Corey McAllister now looking within pretty close distance of the 15 of Michael Herniak Jr. as they still try to look to get by the 69 of Wally Wilson. Wilson just doing his thing right now and being able to hold off the leaders. He's held off McAllister. He held off McGlynn. Will he be able to hold off Herniak? As here comes Brandon McFerrin in the Stewart's 56 once again, trying to make his way in. '71 goes high again in turn 3 and 4. That's going to allow McFerrin to close in. Wilson might not be able to hold off Herniak. Herniak goes high this way, though, and that's not the right move because here comes the 71 of Corey McAllister. 71 Sunbelt Rentals, Caldecott Millwrights, Struck Energy Services Chevrolet once again now battling for the lead. Side by side again. Wally Wilson's being held up by Chris Schera. That's going to allow the 71 to get by, but in that, he sneaks by the 15. 15 loses the lead. However, now he goes to the high side of Schera. That's going to allow the 15 to go to the inside. Didn't work out that well. He's going to go to the high side of the 17 as well. Sees he's a lot slower. They're going to try and get past the 17 car. Allows McFerrin to pull right underneath Wally Wilson, but now he is stuck behind that 17 car, not able to get by. So the lead still Corey McAllister and Michael Herniak Jr. here at Laird. Here comes Herniak Jr. back down to the inside. This is battle for the lead once again. Side-by-side battle down into turn 3. Laura Otier in that 39. The Trevco Motorsports 39. Here comes Herniak back down to the inside. He'll take the lead once again out of 2. What's going to happen in turn 3? Will he go to the inside of Otier's 39? He will. Here comes McFerrin. McFerrin will go to the inside. Oh, Otier into the wall. Off of turn 4. A little bit of contact there with McFerrin and McAllister. 39 got up and into the wall. Not sure if she's going to need to pit for damage to that number 39 car. But she definitely got up and into the wall. Herniak Jr. has now cleared. McFerrin now into second place. Clear into second place. Not exactly. McAllister still fighting back on that high side. Now McFerrin is clear. The 15 Landshark Lager for Herniak Hall Motorsports Chevrolet is up front. Coming up to the Brendan Patrick 02 machine. Brandon McFerrin in that 56 Stewart's Equipment Chevrolet, sitting in second place. There's Brendan Patrick and the Patrick Brothers Racing 02 Chevy. Of course, that chassis really old. There's Tim Tolton. He's sitting currently at the back of the lead lap cars. So going around Chris Schera's 17, Ryan Dyson and Sean Mangin there. See Laura Otier in that number 39. After she's hit the wall, she has fallen back quite a distance. Mark Patrick, he is still on the lead lap. Wally Wilson out in front. Kevin Lay and Brad Robinson. Mark Patrick sits 10th as we hit lap 50 of 105. Caution free so far in this race. We were pretty well caution free until halfway at Delaware before we had a couple of incidents. One for Kevin Lay, one for Connor James and Carson Nagy. Here comes Mark Patrick. He is by Kevin Lay. Brad Robinson in the Twisted T44. Bit of a struggle here. Yeah, he's sitting in 14th place right now. Let's get you a full field rundown here halfway through this race. Chris Schera 3 laps down in 19th place. Laura Otier in 18th place, 3 laps down as well as Brandon Patrick. Wally Wilson 16th, 1 lap down. Kevin Lay is 15th, 1 lap down. Brad Robinson also a lap down in 14th. Tim Tolton is 13th. Ryan Dyson 12th. 11th for Sean Mangin and 10th for Mark Patrick. 9th for Carson Nagy. A quiet 8th for Billy Zardo. 7th for Kevin Trevlin. 6th for Jake Sheridan. 5th for Corey McAllister. Now Todd Shepard's found his way up into 4th. Chad McGlynn sits in 3rd, and the battle right now is still for the lead as Michael Herniak Jr. has come up against the 39 once again. That's got Laura Otier and the 39 for Trevco Motorsports. The 56 has now closed it up a little bit. He's stuck behind the 39. He's got to try and get to the inside. She'll go to the inside and allow him the outside groove. So the 56 is going to take the high side, try to get back close to the 15 to get an opportunity to lead this race. Brandon McFerrin did get some bonus points at Delaware. He did lead a lap, led a couple of laps actually, passing Lane Zardo before being passed by Chad McGlynn. Then unfortunately his day went sour as the 56 was involved in an accident following a bad pit stop halfway, and unfortunately it did set up his finish to be not what he was hoping for after starting up in the top 3. So Brandon McFerrin and actually Michael Herniak Jr., they were both involved with Connor James in accidents at Delaware Speedway And it was contact off of turn 4 both times that resulted in those contacts, which resulted in some spins. So it was Herniak first into the number 5 of Kevin Lay, who then got into the 4 of Connor James, who was on the lead lap at the time. And that 56 is motoring in. Look at how close he is closing. And 15 is going to go to the inside here. Brendan Patrick. Brendan's such a clean racer. Works really, really well with the other drivers on track. Just like what you want to have in a young driver. Gives way. Lets people go by. Was involved in a wreck last year. Yes, that is true. Trying to avoid the spun 29 car of Rob Windus at Peterborough Speedway. But unfortunately, that did not happen, and he ended up climbing over the 29 car. The car, and they ended up being parked after working on the car during the red flag. But Brandon McFerrin here in this 56. I'm interested to see what Brandon does in this off season. Definitely be interested to see where he ends up. We know that Cole Burrows has that old super stock that had the 56 on it last year. So interesting to see what the Stewart's team does this year. Michael Herniak Jr., of course, we expect him to be back in the OSS full season, battling for the championship once again. Finished second in the championship battle as they got the lap cars of Chris Schera and Wally Wilson out in front. Wilson in that 69 car. And the have1.com. Oh, the 17 into the wall. That makes it easier for the 15 to get by. They're closing in on Tim Tolton. That's not expected here at a racetrack like this. Tolton is the master at full throttle. Last year, he came from 11th to win that race in the sweltering heat. A awful race for conditions. And in fact, some of the drivers had to pull off because the heat was so extreme. Kevin Lay and Othier up in front. As the 39 car once again. And 15 is going to go to the high side. Not the right move as McFerrin now looks to the inside of Wilson. Herniak, and here comes the 56 to the inside. And Brandon McFerrin wants to lead this race. He looks to the inside. Othier in the 39 will go high. That's going to allow McFerrin into the lead. 15's got to get clear because Wilson's going to look to, and Wilson does. Wally Wilson now looks to cover that spot on the inside. He does so. Othier's, of course, now battling with Wilson. And unfortunately, Herniak Jr. has now lost the leader, and he's going to potentially lose second place because here comes Corey McAllister. McAllister in that 71 rockets down to the inside in turn 4. Side by side as they head into turn number 1, and the 15 goes high again. That will allow McAllister clear. Here comes Jake Sheridan. Sheridan now looking for a podium spot. This would help him catapult into the points lead. Of course, he is the leader after the first race, but as of right now, would hopefully keep that lead 3 wide into turn number 1 and 2. Going by the 39. Here comes the 52. And Jake Sheridan will look to get by Michael Herniak Jr., Kevin Trevlin, and Chad McGlynn. McGlynn had fallen back, so we're curious what happened to the 18. But the 52 is now clear of the 15. And unfortunately, just like that, Michael Herniak Jr. goes from the lead to 4th. As Jake Sheridan now into the 3rd place. Here comes Corey McAllister underneath Tim Tolton. And trying to look underneath the 69 of Wally Wilson. Try and catch leader Brandon McFerrin. McFerrin in this 56 up in the clear right now. Lap 76 of 105. He doesn't have much more to go. And he can pull off his first OSS victory here. And would put him higher up in those point standings because all those drivers that are not in this race, and there's a lot of them. We had 32 that competed at Delaware in the first race of the season. We have only 19 here today. So he should catapult a good chunk of the field if he is able to get this race victory. And considering he has led in both races so far this year, that bodes very well. We've had a couple of different leaders today, including Chad McGlynn, Michael Herniak Jr., Corey McAllister, and now Brandon McFerrin. This would, however, if he leads to the end, this would give him the most laps led over McAllister. So definitely this is a great run for the 56. A nice clean race as well. We've not had any contact on track that has caused a caution flag. So the 56 way out in front here. Let's take a look at some of the others. There's that 39. Remember, she's got that right side damage. She did get into the wall earlier. Laura Othier is sitting in that 39 for Trevco Motorsports. The 12 car here is Mark Patrick. Really kind of a quiet race so far for him. The 02, Brendan Patrick, he's also apparently gotten into the wall. He's got some damage there. Ryan Dyson in the 28. Dyson in that Douglas Windows and Doors, Doxeter Property Maintenance. 28 Chevrolet, JRD Motorsports. Sean Mangin in the 47 Brimstone Games Dodge for Herniac Hall Motorsports. And there is the 44 Twisted Tea Chevrolet for Brad Robinson, Carson Nagy in the new Techwood Chevrolet. And there's Chad McGlynn really struggling with that 18 car. Billy Zardo looks to have gotten by in the 46. And Zardo could potentially get the points lead following this race, considering he did finish second in our race at Delaware. He is battling for a 6th place position right now as Carson Nagy 3 wide. Brad Robinson as they're going to go by Billy Zardo in that 46. Chad McGlynn now puts his number 18 car back into 8th place. Got the lap car of Chris Scherer there to the high side. McGlynn will look to get by, and there's the 69 of Wally Wilson as well. Ryan Dyson now looks to the inside. As you see 10th place, this is Sean Mangin. Battling with McGlynn, battling with Robinson. And Billy Zardo. Carson Nagy has cleared, and he's gotten clear of these guys. There he is. He's looking to run down that number 2. Oh, we've got Brendan Patrick in the wall. And that is that's gonna give us a caution flag here with 89 laps down. That will result in a restart. That is 100% going to give us enough time for a restart. But Brendan Patrick put into the wall. And that will end the 02. That will end his day today, unfortunately. Brendan Patrick, look at the damage on that 02 car. Let's take a quick look back and see what happened. So it looks like Jake Sheridan coming out of turn 4 potentially. Sheridan gets a great run here. So he's going to the inside, and maybe he just, does he boot him? Yeah, it was just a touch enough that put him high, and he just, boom, right into the wall. And unfortunately, contact with Jake Sheridan, who had gotten by Corey McAllister, is going to put him into the wall, and the 02 is done for the day. And that's a shame. We said Brendan tries to stay out of people's way. Unfortunately, not enough there. Jake Sheridan now currently sitting in 2nd place. Brandon McFarlane in the lead. Then it's Jake Sheridan, Corey McAllister, Kevin Trevelyan. That's your top 4. We'll see when the lights go out here on the pace car. And when we go back to green, who is going to take race number 2, RGC Sports 100 here at Full Throttle, aka Laird. The lap cars are going to go to the inside because it isn't under 10 to go. This is, again, back in 2003, right? So this is old rules. Lap cars to the inside. McFerrin leads. Sheridan 2nd, McAllister 3rd, Trevelyan, Herniac, Shepard, Nagy, and Zardo. Green flag back in the air. We are underway. Lap 95 of 105. 10 to go. As Brendan McFarlane will clear the lap cars into turn 2. But along with them is coming Jake Sheridan. Oh, Ortier goes high. Looks like it's going to be clean off of the turn 4, but Brandon McFerrin is way out in front. Jake Sheridan trying to get clear into second. Kevin Lay, however, is not going to let that happen. McFerrin, however, has no competition. That 56 is clean out in front. 52 is trying to get clear, but the lap cars are in the way. 3 car to the inside. That's not going to help him. And Brandon McFerrin in this 56 is going to get by on this restart, and I don't think anybody is going to catch. Look at the distance that he's already gotten on Jake Sheridan. And Brandon McFerrin only has a couple laps to go here. Going to come around. This would be the official race finish if it was 100. So we're going to go 105 in this race tonight. Brandon McFerrin off of turn 2 into turn 3 and 4. Jake Sheridan, a rotten restart, stuck with the lap cars. And unfortunately, that is not going to help him at all. However, Jake Sheridan will continue the points lead as we head into our next race at Sunset Speedway. Sheridan not running the full season, however, neither is Brandon McFerrin. They may reconsider, however, if they get the points lead. Brandon McFerrin easily has got the best car here today. If he goes right to the end, which it looks like right now he will, that will mean the most laps led as well in this race. That 56 Stewart's Equipment Kubota Chevrolet for the Stewart's Racing Team. He is going to come up on some lap cars. Chris Scherer in the 17. In that 17 Intrepid. White flag for Brandon McFerrin. He's done it before. He's won at Velocity in the Super Stocks. To the inside of Scherer into turn 3 and 4. Brandon McFerrin is going to win as Scherer hits the wall off of turn 4 to end the race. There might be some contact with that 17 car there. And Brandon McFerrin has won the second race of our 2023 season. He wins at Laird in what was a really competitive race, actually. Very, very close battles. Back and forth racing. He wins over Jake Sheridan. Michael Herniak Jr. will get the podium in third. Carson Nagy will actually get to keep that fourth place. That's not a scoring error like it was at Delaware. Ryan Dyson, how about that? Dyson comes back for a 5th place. Battled that car all day. Was as low as 14th at one point. Dyson comes back for 5th. Todd Shepard 6th. Mark Patrick 7th. Chad McGlynn in 8th. Billy Zardo, that's going to help him in the point standings as well. He will finish in 9th. Kevin Trevlin in 10th. I don't know what happened to Corey McAllister. He was up front the entire race. We're going to have to try and take a look back and see what happened to Corey McAllister because he was in that top 5 right to the end. It looks like there's massive damage on the 28 as well as he came to the pits, possibly for that 17 car that hit the wall coming out to the checkered flag. Sean Mangin will finish the last car on the lead lap in 12th. Tim Tolton, 13th. Brad Robinson, 14th. Kevin Lay, Wally Wilson, Laura Othier, Chris Scherer, and Brendan Patrick are your 19 finishers. Let's take a look at that Ryan Dyson. Let's take a look at his finish here because he did have some massive damage. Look at the damage to that 28 car. And I don't know if he hit the 17 coming to the checkered flag, perhaps. No, it was a post-race shenanigans, clearly, with Carson Nagy here. Looks like the 28 and the 93 aren't too happy with one another. So the 17 did come up and hit the wall. It looks like it was cleared in time, though. But you'll see that the 28 and the 93, it looks like they're fighting for space to get onto the pits, but that didn't really work, and then they end up taking the detour here. And as they try to come around, boom, 28 car right into the wall. But we're actually going to go back and look at this 71 here and find what happened to Corey McAllister. Did he come in pit? Did he spin? Oh, it looks like there actually was an issue here on this last lap here. That's Trevelyan. Now that's everybody coming to the pits. So unless he was held up with people going to the pits, I don't think that would have happened though, because he would have been finishing the race. Yeah, that's it there. So not sure what happened to Corey McAllister. There's the white flag, and there he is. He's back there with Sean Mangin. So let's see. Did he spin? Did he pit? He's just all the way back there, it looks like. Yeah, we're looking back. He doesn't seem to have been caught by anybody. Just fell back. Oh, you know what? It looks like... Aha! We have found it. So he is there up in the top 5, and then he just gets stuck here. McFerrin takes off. McAllister is in 3rd and gets stuck behind the 39, and he's got nowhere to go. 15, 2 car, then the 93. They're all just going to charge to his inside. He has nowhere to go. And he falls from 3rd all the way back to 11th place in the matter of the last 5 laps. And you see there's Dyson tries, but it still pushes him high. And then he loses more positions as I guess Dyson keeps him on the high side. That allows the 12 car to get by him as well. So a tough finish for Corey McAllister. After a solid run, he did have a great race tonight here at Full Throttle, a.k.a. Laird.